you doing? Huh? Out. So over here closer to the camera, this end, I'm going to be putting that French drain in right here. Because the land to the north of me here, property to the north, seems to always want to drain down here. So I need to carry that away. I just got to do a little smoothing out down the other end there. And then bring in some more, do the French drain, then bring in some more fill after that with the tractor. Okay, so on these bucket forks, this is what I came up with to make an improvement. What came with it was these bolts here. Let me zoom me out. These bolts here with this nut that had been Loctited on there, and the first time I tightened them up, these nuts broke loose from the Loctite. So, and it was hard to get in there to tighten them up, unless you got wrists like King Kong. Came with these yellow plates. I'm not sure where they were supposed to go, possibly under there, so some guys don't like their buckets marked up from the bolts, maybe. I don't know. That just seemed useless. So these are a metric thread, and the thread's inside this, which is just a welded on nut inside there. The threads are metric, so I had to buy some metric bolts. I forget how long these are. This is the longest that there was, though. And those were $12 a piece. So 4 of them. Also, the thread wasn't quite long enough on the bolt, on the shank of the bolt. So I needed to put a spacer in there. So this is probably, looks like 1/2 inch steel plate that I had. I cut it in half for a spacer under there, and it gives much bigger clamping area anyway when you tighten up these bolts. And you can use I zipped them in with my just 3/8 impact, and then I tighten them up with a adjustable wrench after that. So, and 1 3/16 is the size of the bolt head. I won't have to go searching for tools. This may be the first thing I bought from Vivor. It makes cheap stuff. Sells it on Amazon, I think I bought it. But that's what I came up with to improve it. Hey! What are you doing? Good boy. That's a good dog. Boy. Good dog. Wait. Wait. Good boy, Maggie. Good boy. So I've been laying some of the material up with the tractor since I got it back together. Got those spindles back on there. I got about 20 hours of time here piling this up, digging out of the creek area down here. It's pretty sandy soil, but there is some two major areas of clay, so that's been a little more difficult. It's not really a digging piece of equipment. I'm mostly scraping it off with the box blade. You can see my path there. I drag it over there and use that little pile of hardened clay over there as a backstop to scoop up some material and carry it over here. This pile here is about 4.5 feet tall. It's, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe 60 feet long. So I got that laid up, dragged it out of there. Did a little work on the other side of the creek, dragging some sand out of the really overgrown area over there. And that is where the creek overflows, and then I didn't know all that sand was back there, and it's been picking up that sand out of those weeds and dumping it here, filling the creek back up. So I was over there dragging some sand out, and then I lost four-wheel drive. I was putting the four-wheel drive, engaging it only when I needed it, and all of a sudden it wasn't working, and I was kind of stuck over there. So I looked underneath the tractor, and one of the spindle seals, one of the wheel seals that I just had replaced, one of those was leaking already. So took it back to the dealer. Yeah, they would replace that seal, but they informed me that, yeah, the four-wheel drive is toast. So it was a gamble of putting the spindles on the tractor, having new seals and new bearings put in the spindles, putting it on the tractor, because there was a chance there was some metal still in the center of the axle tube. It looked very clean to me. I didn't flush it out, but I couldn't pick up anything on anything, my fingers or anything that I put in there. I couldn't pick up any metal. So I was hoping that just the one side that was leaking, the left side then, was going to be the fix, and was just replace the right side seal, just because the left one had gone, so I might as well replace the right side. And that one ended up leaking at the same time that the four-wheel drive went. So now I'm on hold again of doing anything more down here, or up by the shop even. I have a lot of scraping to do up there yet that I've talked about in previous videos. But I'm on hold of doing anything with the tractor until I get a whole new front axle that includes new spindles. And that would be the way to do it, because it was a gamble, like I said, putting the spindles on the axle with the chance of some metal being in there still. So this will eliminate that problem, because it's all going to be new, the whole axle and both spindles left and right. So that's where we're at with that. Got a lot more to lay up. I'll show you the down here. Maybe hard to tell because of the shadows there, but it's on kind of an angle. It's higher on the right. I've been coming down here with the box blade, like I said, but it's been too soft out here. I've been trying to get some scoops, and I've gotten almost stuck several times. So I need to make those equipment mats, or material mats, or bog mats, however you want to call them, and lay those down in there to scoop some more of that out to get the new straighter creek bed back, get it cleaned out again, so it's more of a straight shot down to the bridge down there that goes over the street. Okay, well that's one little equipment mat. I'll make an identical one. It is 2 feet by a little over 3 feet. I'm making smaller ones because I had all these scraps left over, and they're just going to be easier for me to move in and out of the slough down there. I'll show you a picture of where they're going to go. But I have to figure out how to put a chain or a rope on here to lift these things out with the loader on the tractor. I'm not going to be grabbing these things. Yeah, so I'm going to pull it back out of the mud. In this case, sand, wet sand. I'll show you where these are going to be used. So down here is where those equipment mats are going to be used. This was the new creek bed. That was the old creek bed over there. Used to flow around that way, and I've been trying to redirect it more of a straight path here. But back in April we had a flood, and a lot of this got washed down in there, and this big sand and gravel bar now is right in the middle. And I've scraped it down here as probably as far as I can go with the box blade. I'm going to have to throw the equipment mats in there and just push that material over on top of the sandbar, and that's going to be the new bank. Eventually that'll all be filled in over time. This I'll continually try to drag this back, dig this out, and bring this material back, like I've been saying, to get a more straight shot down to the bridge there. Where these lines are over here, painted on the ground, that's going to be the kind of the high spot of the bank, and then it's going to angle down to the water. That's the plan, Stan. Down here was the worst spot where I got stuck a lot. This is where our old beaver dam used to be, so there's a lot of silt got backed up behind the dam, and it's more squishy in here. So once I get the tractor back, that'll be the first spot I try to drag some material away with the box blade, get the larger tires down on the softer material. Do what I can, maybe throw some boards or equipment mats in there and scoop some and bring it back. I don't know how I'm going to do it exactly, but that's what's got to be done. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe probably being the bigger deal. Helps out the channel, helps it to grow, helps me out, and doesn't cost you anything.